Now, pensioners of the defunct National Electric Power Authority and Power Holding Company of Nigeria have called on the federal government to offset their over 22-year entitlements held by the management of the Nigerian Electricity Liability Management Company, a non-pension fund administrator and pension transitional arrangements directorate. The pensioners say, despite several attempts and presentations to the authorities to pay their arrears, their pleas fell on deaf ears. Let's talk this through by talking to a retired senior staff of Defunct, NEPA and PHCN, Dumoye Oladimeji. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC News at 1.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Well, that's 22-year entitlements held by the management of the Nigerian Electricity Liability Management Company. It's quite a long time to hold your money. Could you just quickly tell us exactly why this is?
Yes, we wouldn't know why they are holding this money. We know that NEMCO had the mandate to pay our pensioners at 2012 before handing over to Peter in 2014. Now, all these areas had been there. By what we know, NEMCO was supposed to have resolved the issue of the year 2000 retirees, 42% short payment of gratuity stroke monthly pension that came up after that. Yeah. Now, this had been on, and we know the MD NEMCO at that time, Dr. Samuel Agogo, requested for funds to offset these arrears. Eventually, I think the fund didn't come until he had handed over to Peter in 2014. By the time Peter took over, the funds, from what we know, as we can see in the appropriated acts from 2017 up to 2021, the funds for all these entitlements were released, arrears were released, including 33% awarded by President Goodluck Jonathan in 2010. All these arrears were released, but between you and I, up to this moment, we have not gotten any of this money.
Released to whom?
NEMCO Petard.
Okay, so
that's the title on the appropriated acts that has been signed into law.
Right. So, what measures or what channels?
Yeah, we have made presentation to Peter especially, and even a letter had been written to the president in 2021 October by our lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana. Up till this moment, we have not gotten any feedback on that letter, and we have picketed the office of the Petard management, the Petard organization for a lot of times, but still nothing. What we have been getting from them is, yes, your money is safe. It's in central bank. It's domiciled in central bank. You will get your money as soon as we complete the biometric exercise, which eventually came up in 2019, April to November. After that, we were expecting them to pay. They said they want to compute what data they collected from the exercise. That computation has not ended until this year's April, 2023 April.
About 2 decades after, or more than 2 decades?
No, 4 years after.
4 years after.
4 years after.
Right.
When the world is already gone into automation and nobody is even doing things manually. Even if it has to take manual preparation for everything, it shouldn't take more than 2 months.
Okay, so who is talking, in this regard? Who is fighting your cause? What other measures, what other channels are you trying to explore? Have you gone to court?
We have this union in place called Nigerian Union of Pensioners Electricity Sector, but they have not lived up to their billings. More like they claim to be representing us, but they have not done anything. They have not done anything as far as we are concerned. We had to come up as a pressure group when we saw what was going on, that they've been romancing with these agencies. They are neck deep in the alignment to shortchange us.
Is that the only union that can fight a cause? What about the TUC? What about the NLC? Are they not,
yes,
seeing to these issues?
We have not involved them at any point. We have not involved them. We felt we should be able to take care of our own matters until what we have now.
Based on the all channels that you've explored, are you looking forward to any resolution soon? Does it look like this issue?
Yeah, like we expect the Petard management under Dr. Chairman Ejikeme called a meeting. At a point, they were not recognizing our pressure group, but at some other point, they started recognizing us because of what we have been able to do. Now, the agency invited us to a meeting 2 days ago, this last Thursday. We were there. They were trying to tell us what they have done in terms with respect to the computation they've been talking about. They started with computation, recomputation, backup computation, back-end computation, and then back to recomputation. That has taken them 4 years. I don't know what that means. Computation is computation, and if it has other attachments, I don't know. Now, they were showing us what they've done. They came up with a position that 72% of our pensioners are short paid all these years. 28% were overpaid. So they have now streamlined everything, they have straightened everything out. Now, they said just eight numbers out of a total of 10,900 pensioners are being paid correctly. You see the gross level of,
So it's taking 4 years. So how long do they say it's supposed to take?
What I say, in February, our lawyer, Mr. Falano, visited the agency, met with the director, the ES, Executive Secretary, and from what we heard from our lawyer, she was giving word that she will soon pay this money, like she has been saying all along. And before you know it, she gave a timeline of April ending as the time for completion of the recomputation thing. And after the computation, what do we expect? We expect the payment to come. But to our surprise, on Thursday, when we met, she was mentioning that, when we mentioned the issue of the arrears. We saw what they did with their computation. Okay, no problem, it's all right. But this computation ought to have been done 4 years ago. Now, she was now telling us that the issue of the arrears is not on the table for us to discuss. We are now wondering, where does this computation lead us to? Certainly there will be arrears to collect, and the other arrears that have been outstanding is there. So she was not going to discuss that. So she's not giving any timeline now, but the only thing she said was that with the computation that has been done, we should expect the whole thing to take effect from June.
Very quickly, what do you think?
Gap between.
What do you think is the last result that you think you're likely to take to ensure that this
with what we have not gotten what we expected from the agency. There we will not take anybody's time. We'll talk to our lawyer and see what legal steps to take again.
Well, we'll see how this thing continues to go on. I'll say that sorry about that, and because just like you said before we came on air, you were saying that some people have actually died as a result of this.
And some are very sick. Some have even been removed from the payroll unjustifiably. These people have gotten back to PITAD to explain their positions, provided documents. Up to this moment, PITAD has never corrected. They have not been returned to the payroll. And let me have you understand again that four people's cases that I am fully aware of, they are very sick. They are very sick. One has even passed on last November.
Well, it's so sad to hear about that. But then we'll just have to leave it here, and we wish you very much good luck in pursuing what actually is your right. Exactly. Thank you so much for coming on TVC News this time. Retired senior staff of Defunct NEPA PHCN, Dumoye Oladimeji. Thank you so much for your time.